200 teenagers were asked what their favorite type of music is. 160 teenagers like pop rock. 140 teenagers like R&B. And 108 teenagers like both pop rock and R&B. We are required to determine the probability that a teenager, selected at random, will like only pop rock, neither of these types of music, pop rock or R&B. The first thing to do is to draw the sample space, S. Within the sample space, we draw the relevant sets of data that describe the scenario. Looking at the information given to us, 108 teenagers like both pop rock and R&B music, so that means that we will have to draw two circles that intersect each other at two distinct points. We can label these sets, PR and RB, to represent the pop rock and R&B sets, respectively. Whenever populating Venn diagrams, we start with the innermost region, which is the intersection of the sets, and work our way outward. The area that represents teenagers liking both types of music is the blue shaded region, and since 108 teenagers like both types of music, we place 108 inside this region. We are also given that 160 teenagers like pop rock. This means that, of the 200 teenagers interviewed, 160 of them like pop rock. 108 of those 160 teenagers also like R&B, so the number of teenagers that only like pop rock is therefore 160 minus 108, which is 52. Likewise, the number of teenagers that only like R&B is 140 minus 108, which is 32. Since 200 teenagers were interviewed, and the PR and RB sets collectively represent 192 teenagers, it follows that 8 teenagers like neither type of music. 8 is placed outside the sets, within the whitespace, since this whitespace includes elements that do not form part of any of the circular containers. And now that we have completed the Venn diagram, we can answer the questions on probability. The probability that a teenager likes only pop rock music is 52 over 200, which is 13 over 50. The probability that a teenager likes neither type of music is 8 over 200, which is 1 over 25. To calculate the probability that a teenager likes pop rock, or R&B, we can go about this in two ways. Since probability is expressed as a value between 0 and 1, where 1 means that an event is certain to happen, we can say that the probability of an event happening equals 1 minus the probability of the event not happening. Thus, the probability of a teenager liking either pop rock or R&B music equals 1 minus the probability that the teenager likes neither type of music. The probability that a teenager likes neither type of music is 8 over 200. Thus, the probability of a teenager liking either pop rock or R&B is 192 over 200. We can also use the probability rule for addition. The probability of a teenager liking pop rock or R&B equals the probability of a teenager liking pop rock plus the probability of a teenager liking R&B minus the probability of a teenager liking both pop rock and R&B. We can of course also simply add up all the elements contained within the sets. So, the probability of a teenager liking either type of music therefore equals 52 plus 108 plus 32, all over 200, which equals 192 over 200.